He's very smart.
Extremely intelligent.
Somewhat scholarly.
A memory like an elephant.
Quite funny. Witty.
Very affable.
Well regarded.
Very compassionate.
He's stubborn.
Very warm-hearted.
Loyal. He never ceases to surprise me.
Determined.
Very passionate.
Generous.
Demanding.
To me, he's all about this extraordinarily warm and friendly presence.
My first memory of attending the New York Film Festival is very clear. It was in 1965, and the festival was showing a print from the Cinémathèque Française of Erich von Stroheim's The Wedding March. I didn't know much about The Wedding March, but I had read a little about film history at that point and knew that von Stroheim's films were difficult to see. So I asked my parents, and they had no objections, and I believe it was on a Sunday, so there was no problem with school or anything. So my aunt took me to see it, and it was great. For me, from the 60s onward, the New York Film Festival was the gold standard. This is really where the important stuff premiered. By the time you got to films like last year at Marienbad or Weekend or Persona or, God, we can think of lots of them, it wasn't Kansas anymore. These were more than films that just had a little more sex or perhaps a little more politics. These were very challenging, very provocative works that were really shaking, the sort of core of cinema. Because of that, the festival was a way, I think, of highlighting, giving some prestige to elevating these works and saying these are works of film art that, can be compared to the best in theater, the best in opera, the best in music that we have. I think when I came along, my challenge was how to make the festival once again feel relevant and in a certain way cutting edge, to really be not following the curve, but ahead of the curve, to create the curve in a way. Technology, cooperated with me a great deal because it was much easier for me in, say, 1990 to see, 20 Iranian films than it would have been for Richard Roud even in 1985. With VHS and then later digital formats, suddenly a world was open to me. I could select films from almost anywhere. I could get a filmmaker who writes to me and say, I'll send you my link. And now I can watch it immediately. I do think institutions like the New York Film Festival do need change. And I think that change is healthy in that sense, especially I think when it's control change. So I think, I've been here. I think my time is up. I think I would have more years to give, but do I stay 26? Do I stay 28? Do I stay, it just seemed to me 25, festival's 50th seemed like a very clean time to break. For myself, I'm looking forward to having the chance to traveling more, but, traveling a little bit more on my own terms or from my own projects and things like that. I hope to have the chance to teach abroad a bit, which is something I've never been able to do, but I've always had a great desire to do, and looking forward the next couple of years of being able to try that. And continuing to have a relationship to the Film Society, not as a programmer, but, I have been invited to organize some educational programs, and we hope in 2013 some of those will begin, and, that will be fun to try and get that somewhat new aspect of the Film Society's work going. So, I sort of feel that with all those things, I'll have more than enough to keep me busy